Have you ever found yourself wondering how it is that hackers get into company networks? Well, I'm going to show you one of the simple but very common techniques. You're probably familiar with Microsoft Word, but did you know a Microsoft Word document can run code? For example, I wrote one here that will just open a message box saying you've been hacked. Now you might notice I had to click enable content to run the code, so how would we get a user to do this? Set a nice Microsoft blue background, I'm going to add the Windows security logo, and then I'm going to make a convincing message telling the user they need to click the button. I'll add a screenshot as well, just for example. Final product looks fairly convincing, so now it's time for some real malicious code. For my example, I'm using a PowerShell script that'll download and run some malware that'll give me full access to the computer. In the real world, we'd probably disguise this as an email containing a financial invoice so that they would download and open the document. For demonstration purposes, the system on the left is the company computer and the system on the right is the hacker. I'm using reverse VNC software so that the company computer will connect to mine, that way we don't have to worry about the firewall. Moment of truth, let's click enable content. As you can see from the window flash that our malware has ran and it's now connected to the hacker's system. We basically have full control over the company computer, we can see whatever's on the screen and even move windows around like so. This is actually one of the most common ways hackers get into company systems, so if you see that enable content warning, don't click it.
Hey everyone, David Bombal back with a very special guest. Marcus, welcome.
Hello, it's great to be on here.
On TikTok, I've seen you've answered a lot of questions. What are some of the craziest questions that you've got? And I see you do these response videos. I like the one that you did with the Airbnb.
So here's how to spot hidden cameras in an Airbnb or hotel. Now the first thing you're going to want to look for is devices that are conveniently placed where a creeper would want to look. Take this fire alarm for instance, it's placed right above the bed. Now one way to see if a device is a camera is to shine a bright light at it. If you hit a camera lens, it's going to give a bluish reflection. Now you can test this by shining a light at your phone and seeing how the camera looks when placed under a flashlight. Now this clock is mirrored, but if we shine a bright light at it, we can see through the glass and see there's a camera there. Now this technique can also work on two-way mirrors. So the camera is USB powered and the wall charger it's plugged into is actually also a camera. If we shine the light on it, you can see that little pinhole in the middle with the blue reflection, that is the camera lens. Night vision cameras use infrared LEDs to see, and if we turn off the lights and use the front-facing phone camera, we can actually see these LEDs. Now the front-facing camera is the only one that tends to work because the back-facing one has an IR filter. Now you can sort of see the infrared LEDs on this clock already, but if we cover up the main LED, we can actually see them a lot better. Now I wouldn't rely on this method because people usually don't shower in the dark, so if they're placing cameras in the bathroom, then they're probably not going to bother with night vision. So these camera lenses are very small, as you can see here, so they can be hidden in anything, even a hole in the wall.
So can you just explain what you did there?
I'm gonna be honest here, I absolutely hate that video. It was
you got 30 million views or something.
I know, yeah. That's why I hate it. So it was it was a kooky kind of question, how do I find hidden cameras in my Airbnb? And I was like, yeah, there are news articles about this. It does happen. It's very, very rare. It's kind of like, how do I stop sharks from attacking me in the ocean? It's like, you can stop sharks from attacking you in the ocean. It's not a real risk that's very common, but hey, I'll show you how to stop the shark attacks. And it was kind of a video like that. I didn't expect it to blow up. And then of course, it gets 35 million views. People are going crazy, tearing apart their Airbnbs. And I'm just like, yeah. Oh, no. This stupid video I made just because someone asked has become this worldwide phenomenon. It was in major news sites. I was getting interview requests from the New York Times and all of that. And I was just
because of that video.
Yeah. Well, not to interview me. They were specifically wanting to interview about the video. There was pretty much every major news outlet I can think of wanted me to say something about that video. And I just I wish I could unmake it.
I'm just laughing. Sorry, I have to laugh about this. This is the second time I think I've heard you say that you didn't like the limelight or the spotlight of the news organization on you, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just not good with publicity. I'm getting more comfortable with it now, but when it's the whole, the thing is blowing up, you have all of the media just sliding into your DMs. Everyone wants to hear about it. It's very overwhelming.
I think it's quite funny and ironic in a way. You saved the world from WannaCry, and your next big stint was to use a phone to find cameras in an Airbnb.
I know. I feel like both of those things were like equally as useless. Like the WannaCry thing had very big implications, but like at the very core, it was like one of my least technical feats. And then again with the Airbnb, like this was just like a silly video I did, and it wasn't like some huge technical feat that took like months to work on. And I think this is like the theme for my life, is doing like minimally technical things and then somehow becoming famous for them.
It's funny because I heard Jack of Darknet Diaries, and he said if you really want to make your name, or like people, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but something along the lines like, if you really want to impress people, don't go to like DEF CON or somewhere and talk to a bunch of techies. You need to go and talk to people who don't know this stuff, and then they'll think you like this god, in tech. And it sounds like that's what you've done.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. It's like I've like done technical feats that like I'm like proud. Like I feel like this is my lifetime achievement, but they're so technical that only people in the industry understand what they are. Whereas like stopping a global ransomware attack, that's something that end users can understand. Like the general public can understand, okay, this person stopped a bad virus. And same with the Airbnb cameras. It's like, okay, this is how you find cameras. And that is a very common thing in cybersecurity, is the really technical, like amazingly impressive stuff. It usually doesn't get past like a tech audience.